right now, but honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and say it's the strongest it's ever been, but I think it's probably like the second strongest it's ever been, low key. We have a bunch of people who play really good characters and play really obnoxious playstyles. So like I think we're like in a pretty fine spot right now. It's just in terms of like being raw, we're definitely not it. Yeah,
We
like
got Ridley, Toon Link,
yeah,
Corrin.
you do not come to MDVA for raw gameplay, that's for sure. Anyways,
Anyways, speaking of raw gameplay, we got Nyx and Festive.
yeah, Kirby Steve.
Kirby's.
Speaking of raw, I know we all think this is a raw matchup. So,
Oh my God, he couldn't
yeah,
squish under it.
winter semis, Kirby Steve, small battlefield. You know the vibes, you know the drill.
Oh,
This is
got
a
it.
this is a classic matchup too. I believe these two have played like a lot. So, oh, that should be dead. Yeah, dude, and you have so much time. Wow, like she had so much time to charge it. That's so funny. Um,
I never know how to see King J, man. Every time, I swear.
This guy, he's a thrower.
you always see them low.
He pulls up and then he's like,
And then he
like,
won one, right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah, he did. He did.
like, and he does really well sometimes, and then sometimes he pulls up and he's like, I'm gonna farm.
I'm
And he
gonna
goes one,
I'm
two.
gonna SD with Sora. That's what
Yes,
that's what he
exactly.
said.
Down there, all the way.
And the crazy part is he'll SD even if he's winning. I don't know how he does it. I really don't. That's the greatest SDer of all time. Oh whoa! That was almost wrong. That was almost about to be so awesome.
Anvil didn't hit. Oh my God,
Um,
running through. Nice.
this is a crazy set for sure.
Yeah,
Wow.
that block didn't come to
Wait,
play.
that DI was kind of crazy
Yeah.
by Nyx. I don't know if like she knew or like that's just how the throw sends. I'm pretty sure that's not how the throw sends. So yeah, crazy good stuff from Nyx. Ah, that should be dead. Yup.
Steve Kerr.
Pretty consistent kill setup. Good stuff from Nyx for finding it. Festive has really got to find a way to like avoid these mine cards. Definitely a hard move to try and avoid, especially with Kirby's slow physics. But I
That was
think there's
Mega Ant-Man in Redemption.
Because I'm pretty sure he went
Oh.
0-2.
Damn.
it happens. It definitely happens. It happens to the best of us.
He did.
I will
just
say
needed-
though, Festive's SDI has been phenomenal. The up throw not killing. Wow, I guess small battlefield's large ceiling really coming into effect there. And Nick's looking to close this one out. Maybe gets his ledge trap here, but instead Festive gets a nice narrow reversal off the ledge. And we'll see if Festive is able to bring this one back, but it's definitely going to be hard. Nick's now with the diamond tools. Pressure is on, but wow, Festive evens it up with almost immediately with a cute little combo. But this situation is far from over. Nick's with diamond tools, Steve in the corner mining more resources. It's gonna be rough. But if Nyx is able to get like maybe another, yeah, the gold is gonna be nice for the mine carts, more iron, more resources, especially. Like I think Nyx should be able to close it out for sure. But this is looking a little rough with Festive really on the hunt for this final stock right now. And it is literally neck and neck, almost exact same percents across these two players. Wow, I'm like astonished by just how even. Oh wow, I guess Kirby ducks under that. I'm surprised that wasn't a strong thing. I have no idea how Festive didn't die from that, but you know, Festive really putting up a fight, staying patient while Nyx throws out all these different options to keep the pressure on, and eventually the minecart does seal the deal. Nyx going up game one in this. Um, yeah. Oh, wall breaker, no game sound because Nyx plugged in her headphones into the set, so apologies in advance. There will be no game sound for this set, but instead we have super
We have the
awesome
sound
and
of,
epic commentary. Yeah, we have super epic and awesome commentary instead. But anyways, running it back to small battlefield. I think the stage is fine for both characters, but like I think Festive has really got to figure out a way to get around these mine cards. Like he died to mine card all three stocks in game one. We'll see if he makes any adjustments. So far though, Festive with a pretty decent lead. We know like a lead isn't that. Oh, I did not know that's how Kirby interacted with TNT. That's pretty cool.
Pixel B Rio.
And Festive right now going for a good edge guard against Nix, really punishing that high minecart that Steve's are known to do. Good stuff coming out from Festive, gaining the lead in this game too. And now Nix has to figure out how to bring this back. Festive getting an early combo, not being able to get too much off of it this time, for now. But Nix already has Diamond. Definitely has to make sure she uses it well. Meanwhile, Festive really trying to push this advantage state as far as he can. Make sure that this lead does not go unnoticed into his second stock, if he even gets there. Nick's kind of struggling to get any meaningful hits against this Kirby right now. Festive just barely bobbing and weaving around these options. Wow. Just straight up beat out the minecart completely. I'm impressed. I gotta say, that was really good. Like a very strong call out from Festive. Now, a whole 2 stocks ahead. But, again, Nick's very strong player, very capable of bringing this back. Steve's damage output is insane. Definitely capable of bringing this all the way around. And with the diamond tools, getting that up throw for that first stock. And now even got the diamond. We'll see what Nyx chooses to do with it. If she even gets a chance to do anything with it. Festive really applying all sorts of pressure right now. Nyx trying desperately to figure out how to get around this pressure. Festive putting on all the stops to just stop anything. Stop any sort of momentum being started from Nyx's side. And these minecarts that Festive was getting punished with earlier in game 1, not really proving to be as effective. If anything, proving to be detrimental to Nyx this second game. I think Nyx just needs to slow it down a little bit. Festive is putting on a lot of pressure, and it's gonna be hard to work around if you keep trying to force the scenario. Get materials, get these good blocks, get these good options going. And without materials, this is going to be a lot harder of a hill to climb. And Festive sneaks in that grab to get the up throw into going to Festive. All right, we're running it back to small battlefield. Honestly, interesting choice coming out of both players. I think it's just a comfort fit for both of them. But honestly, if I'm Nyx, maybe I would try switching it up. You have another whole game to play around with. Could be useful to change it up, but maybe Nyx sees something that I don't. And honestly, she did win game 1. It was fairly solid, solid enough. So I think it's definitely possible. Not like she's out of the woods at all. We'll see how this game 2 plays out. As fairly all right start from both players. Vesta taking a little bit of an early lead, and it's really struggling to get things going. Very hard call out from Vesta. Not punished too heavily, but that's okay. Keeping the percent relatively even as Nyx farms for more materials, making the pressure more dangerous for the Kirby. And there's the minecart. So well used by Nyx throughout this set overall. Even though it might have been a detriment to her game 2, still, pretty good rate of landing hits with it. Very good air dodge coming out from Festive. Punishing the grab. Steve, very slow grab. You can punish it if you're, close enough. You can spot on it. It comes out a little slow, blah, blah, blah. But Festive doing a really good job, having that recognition, having that awareness, and just having the reaction time too. And this might be a stop actually. Wow. Not yet. And Festive actually even manages to make it back to not going for anything crazy off of that whip up smash, just opting for a raw up, opting for an up smash get that raw damage. It's fine. You're up a whole stock, almost even it up. It's chill. And it's really, really struggling to get the hits that she wants. And, Festive's pressure has just been so absurdly strong. It's been so hard for Knicks to get any good hits on this Kirby with his SDI, his combos, his pressure. It's been crazy. And Knicks going down another spot while she mashes F smash. Um, definitely, yeah, definitely. Some signs of tilt, but it happens. Things are getting a little heated. Festive just really putting on a lot of pressure, and Knicks, I think, kind of crumbling under the pressure. Um, yeah, I think Knicks really just has to like slow things down a little bit, be okay, be willing to play the slow game if possible, and like try her hardest to farm as many mats as she can because without the mats, like this pressure game is really hard to play around. Um, honestly, like we'll see how this game goes, but if it doesn't go the way of Knicks, I think it might be worth it to switch to a larger stage. You have more space to play with, less space to get pressured by Kirby. Wow, that smash reaches and killed super early. I'm impressed. Um, good stuff coming out to Festive again. Sealing out his game two or game three. Apologies. Wait, the small battlefield. I don't know if I agree with this pick, but we'll see what happens. I'm sure it's a comfort pick for both players, and maybe Knicks is going to make some adjustments here in this game for yeah, Mint. Ashlyn plugged in her headphones for the set, so no game audio for this set, unfortunately, but that's okay. At least we have the visuals and the commentary. Am I right? Anyways, this game four starting off a lot more different. Um, Knicks with a huge lead against Festive right now. And now we see the exact opposite of what was happening in games two and three with Festive actually struggling to get these hits in. Really, struggling to get around Knicks' pressure with all these different buttons, anvil, minecart, the blocks. Like Knicks is just doing such a good job of playing passive and letting Festive come to her, which is exactly the sort of way you want to play around Kirby. Kirby's close quarters game is strong. Almost so strong you do not want Kirby to, you don't really want to approach Kirby. Even as Steve, it can still be kind of rough, but when you let Kirby approach you, he has to work 1,000 times harder. That's exactly what Knicks is doing, and it's already paying dividends with her taking the first stock. Not too much percent either, and already kind of evening up another diamond on lock. The gold, like this match is going. This game is going so much better for Knicks. Like just slowing down the pace and really recognizing, you know what, like I have to like, take it easy. I keep forcing the scenario. I don't need to do that. Kirby can come to me, and it'll be so much better that way. And look at this, Knicks already up two stocks to one, barely above 100%, even surviving that back air coming out from Festive. Festive really has to figure things out. Like this is looking really rough, honestly. Like now Kirby's damage output is definitely good, but working around all this pressure from Knicks is gonna be extremely hard. Knicks just doing such a good job of keeping Kirby away and making Kirby have to constantly guess how he wants to get in, what he wants to do. Knicks with another diamond already loaded up, locked and loaded, and we'll have to see how Festive chooses to respond to this. It's definitely going to be difficult, but not impossible. But this percent is climbing, not getting any better. I don't know. How did we avoid that? I think they both made it. But yeah, I'm very impressed with Knicks' gameplay this game four. It's just such a stark contrast to what was happening in games two and three, you know, and it looks like the passive train hasn't slowed down. still really giving Festive a hard time of getting in and already having another diamond locked and loaded, mining more materials in the corner. She might get another diamond from this position. And Festive trying so hard to like get any sort of confirm going, any sort of pressure, and gets a few decent hits in, but not sealing out the stock, and he needs to do it soon as his percent climbs, and Steve is not known to like struggle to kill, and that minecart is going to be it. It's taking game 4. Very happy to see the adjustment from Knicks. We saw a lot of like aggression and rush down gameplay games 2 and 3 that ended up costing Knicks the games. She was going down in stocks a lot, but now we saw that passive gameplay coming out in game 4, and it really helped out for Knicks as we see it in this game 5. And running it back.
So you and Hayden are next, right?
Yeah.
Lexi has asked, I forgot to start that, but Lexi has asked wins that he plays this
On stream? That's fine.
But that would mean that the loser of you or Hayden goes immediately on stream.
Oh.
Which is my math. Hayden said he's fine with it.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm
Whatever.
just double checking because he said he hasn't had a stream yet.
Yeah, that's fair. All good, all good. All right, game 5 going back to small battlefield. Dude, these two players, I don't know, man. Like, they both love this stage. They both do really well on this stage. Both characters do a lot of good things, but I don't know. Like, I think it's really just going to come down to whose pressure is better. I think that's been the main of this pressure and dominance. Who's willing to play more passive, who's willing to play more, like, assert their pressure a lot better than the other. And I think whoever ends up doing that more, doing that better, is going to be the set winner here. Festive going for the whole first dog. We'll see if Knicks is able to adjust. After such a solid game 4, we'll see if things stay the same as they have in game 4, or if they revert back to the old game plans of games 2 and 3. You do have to, approach a little more now that you're behind, but you still have good options to keep people away and force different baits and punishes. And Nick's trying really hard to figure that out. Really, like, trying to mix up all these different options, hoping to get something going. But again, like, Festive pressure has just been so good this game. Looking kind of a bit like a repeat of games 2 and 3, but again, we'll see if Nyx is able to adjust a little bit as she finds that minecart into back there. Good stuff coming out from Nyx. Festive already looking to start things again with that dare. I think there was an F tilt afterwards, missing the F tilt, but Nyx really struggling to get any sort of materials going, and I think that's going to be a huge problem. Whereas, as we know, Steve, without materials, there's only so much he can do, only so much Nyx that he has. And if Nyx isn't able to get these, like, irons, these wood, like, all these different materials that she needs to, like, do her different setups and keep applying her pressure, like, it's going to be a little difficult for her. But Nyx kind of slowly clawing her way, back into this match. She has a diamond locked and loaded, but Festive manages to sneak in that Fair 1 F smash. Good stuff to Festive with a very healthy lead right now. Still only losing 1 stock so far. Very healthy lead overall. And Nyx kind of still struggling to even get materials and, really keep any sort of pressure going. We'll see. Really lock down this corner, but Festive manages to take his way out. And if Festive just keeps up his pressure without, like, stepping on the gas a little too much, he should be poised to take this step. But Nyx could always make the adjustment of playing a little slower, letting Festive take the mistakes, applying some pressure with blocks, just farming for blocks as much as she can. It's definitely going to be hard, especially with, Festive being such a menace with his pressure right now. But, we'll see what happens. She manages to sneak in that diamond back here with only 44% on it. This could be huge. Diamond damage output, insane. with Steve, so we'll have to see what she's able to do with it. Already a gold and another diamond in the back. If either player gets caught by a strong enough option, this could be curtains. But we'll see what happens. Both players kind of playing a little passive and patient, not trying to pull the trigger too early, too recklessly with how important this last game is, because the winner of this set will play in winners finals against the winner of Izuki and Save. We'll have to see what happens there as well. Oh my goodness, both players just playing so well, so patient. Just, oh my god. And that one cute little combo, really evening things up. This could be anyone's game, whoever gets the better hit first. But Nyx has so many materials on lock right now. Like, Festive is really going to have to do something if he wants to, like, close the stock down. Because the more you let Steve farm these materials, the harder it's going to be for you to, close it out. Festive kind of slowly pushing Nyx to the corner, but Steve doesn't necessarily even mind the corner. We'll see who's able to get out of this scramble scenario first. It's a very tense situation. Whoever messes up could lose the game. Festive going for a game-winning F smash, but missing entirely. Oh my goodness, this is so tense. I have no idea who's going to be able to. Oh, very clutch roll coming out from Festive. The back air still not doing it. One more back air will do it. But Nyx, just one good move, one good back air. Now she gets more materials. This has really gone down to the wire. And just an aside, we're also reaching very close to the 1 minute mark. So at some point, this could be a timeout situation, which we'll have to see who's able to, play it better. As this clock whittles down, both players still playing so patient, not making too many careless moves, just being very careful with what they try to do. This is looking so rough. Both of these players really struggling to get any good hits on each other. But Festive with 3% lead and barely missing that forward air. And Nyx clutching the stock with her own forward air as Nyx moves on